All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is May 6th, 2025. So happy to be here in front of each and every one of you here on, well, we're proudly part of the Red Voice Media Network, where we, God, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, let's see. My partner sounds like he's choking a dog over there. I don't know what it is, but hold on for a second. Oh, wait a minute, Jay. Yeah.
Hello, testing 1 2.
Yeah, I mean that mic picks up everything. I don't know whether you moved the cup or what, but it was like but here we go. We are live Monday through Thursday, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are cutting through the noise to bring you the headlines that the mainstream media won't touch. Got a few things to talk about today. I know we kind of hit a lot on the Diddy trial yesterday and the Diddy process. They're still picking jury members right now. So yesterday, we wanted to catch you up to date about what is going on, and Jason had some great insight about about what he thought could happen, possibly happen. And also he broke down a couple of things. So if you missed yesterday's show, please download it or watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it on Rumble. But today, we'll probably highlight Diddy thing tomorrow. It looks like they're getting through those jurors kind of fast.
We'll wait until it's acquittal, then we'll revisit.
It looks like they got 3 witnesses. Victim 1, victim 2. Okay, hold on. But today we're going to talk about the U.S. government is offering a $1,000 stipend to encourage illegals to self-deport. I think that go with me on this. Y'all know me. I question everything, because if you offer them 1,000, they're going to want more. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, just this morning told Congress that there have been no negotiations with China on tariffs. Now, that's something that we'll talk about it. We don't know what the game plan is, but that's what he told Congress this morning. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is shaking up the military. He wants to cut all the top people, all the older generals. He wants to get rid of them. Some are calling it long overdue. I know we've talked about it a few times on too. Another lawsuit has hit the Trump administration over what is happening at Health and Human Services. We'll briefly talk about that. And there is a militia group that is threatening the National Weather Service, claiming that the Doppler radar are weather weapons. So you'll see that silver hat on Jason by the end of the show. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jason Robinson, who is from Minnesota, where the winters are long, and so is the list of the people who want to move somewhere warmer. Mr. Jason Robinson. What's up, Jason?
Hey, folks. Happy Tuesday. We survived Cinco de Mayo. Now we made it to Taco Tuesday. We are so glad to have everybody with us. Do us a favor, hit a like, hit a comment, hit the share button. Wayne's making tacos. He'll have them on his Instagram later today. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, and so much to go over. I mean, the Trump team killing it. They're starting to drive a bus on some of this stuff. We've got conspiracy theories from weather manipulation to underground bunkers. We've got it all. And thank you so much for joining us. And like I say, do us a favor, like, comment, share. It helps us beat the algorithm. Wayne's ready to rock and roll.
So basically what you're saying is that we're not American anymore, we're Mexico.
Well, no, I mean, we're a melting pot.
You said Cinco de Mayo yesterday, Taco Tuesday today.
Taco Tuesday today.
We're damn near Mexico now.
I don't know. Have you ever had real Mexican food? Like, they laugh at our Mexican food.
Yes, I have. I went on a cruise to Cozumel, Mexico. Let me tell you something, y'all. Let me tell you something. The real food ain't no joke. That's all I got. Real food is legit. As a matter of fact, when I came back from Cozumel, Mexico, that cruise, I didn't touch Taco Bell for about 3 or 4 years.
Right. It's not even
I did not. I mean, it's not even close. Even the tequila down there is not even close to what it is up here. I mean, that's just straight.
Yeah. I got to give a shout out too to our chat. We got the Rumble chat popping. We got the Facebook chat popping. And here's what I love. Like Paul's dropping in about the underground bunkers. We got who else? We got Debbie over here talking about the judge allowing Trump 12 million people in. I mean, the chats are great. Jump on these platforms, engage. We have a really smart audience. They do a great job of sharing links. Some of the stuff we can't even get to on the show. So join one of the communities, folks.
That's the truth. Yeah, we believe me,
we do a 3-hour show and not touch it all, man.
That's the truth. It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about in short time to do it. I want to give a shout out to my sister, my veteran sister Lisa. Send me a text. Let me know that you're watching. If not, I'll take my shout out back. No, but yeah, we're live. And I think I asked him to join a little bit later, but a friend of mine that works over at Town Hall, Jeff Charles, he's a editor over there at Town Hall, and I asked him to join a little bit later just to see what they're talking about over there, and to see what he is also covering over there on Town Hall. So I want to, he'll be on probably at the end of the, well, around 12:30 or whatever. Okay. President Trump is meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney today. Hopefully JD Vance isn't there, so there won't be any yelling. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know what they had to talk about. Really, to tell you the truth.
Donald Trump just dropped the truth right before he met with him.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know.
Can we quit giving you money and providing all your military support? Which just is funny. Like Canada's got nothing for military spending. And,
nobody bothers him, though.
What's that?
Nobody bothers him.
Well, because they're right next to the United States.
Well, they don't have anything,
Right.
I mean, they don't have anything, but it's Carney is like, just leave us alone. And as a matter of fact, a whole lot of Americans like, just leave us alone. We don't want to be bothered by our government either. So, but with the trade thing, what's his name? Scott Bassett jumped. I don't know why he was talking to Congress this morning, but China came out and said over the last couple of weeks that there were no negotiations, and a lot of MAGA was like, "Oh, they're lying. They're lying. They're not telling the truth and whatnot." Well, now it seems like Bassett is out there saying the same thing.
I've said before, there are 18 very important trading relationships. We are currently negotiating with 17 of those trading partners. China, we have not engaged in negotiations with as of yet.
That's not cool. I mean, now I'm sure President Trump didn't tell him to say that. I'm 100% positively sure President Trump didn't tell him to say that, because President Trump is meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister this morning, But what does that do for the markets? I mean, they've been told that the trade negotiations, and what, you searching right now?
I was going to say, it's done nothing. The market's up 1.2%.
I saw it was down before we started. Let me check CNBC. Let me see.
Yeah,
it's down
under 41,000.
Yeah, it's down 221 today. What do you think that does when the Treasury Secretary comes out and says that in front of Congress?
Honestly, I think it's just going to get lost in the news cycle. I don't think it'll be a story. Um, if you look, they are doing an atypical tariff negotiation where they're just firing things back and forth.
Who?
And tariffs have changed what they're charging us, what we're charging them like 100 times since it started. I think you'll see people try to spin this up. I think Bessett's defining like negotiations, like let's all sit down, get in a room, and talk about what the final deal is going to be. But right now they're just firing things back and forth. From a news story, I don't think it's going to be anything. They'll try to make it grow traction, but there's just so much other stuff in the news. I think it'll come and go pretty quickly.
Okay. Let's see.
Wayne looks deep in thought.
Some of these male people can't read, but that's okay.
Male people.
Yeah, it's like, you tell the male people to put the packages on the patio, and they come up and they look, and then, man, he looked like he didn't have a hard life though.
Mm-hmm.
He moving like at 1.2 miles per hour. He looked like he tired already. What time? It's 12:30, 12:13. He looked like he tired already. But yeah, basically what I'm talking about is Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent just submitted to Congress this morning that there have been zero negotiations with China over tariffs President Trump announced for his new trade policy about a month ago. Now, this comes despite all the talks of deals being made that are in the works. There's also causing economic certainty, which a whole lot of people were complaining about. Now, the numbers went up when Bessent a couple of weeks ago said that negotiations were. I mean, he said that the negotiations were going on. For some reason, I don't know how he switched, but he switched. But honestly, I think I would rather know that rather than to be told a lie, because people are like, what's taking so long? If you're in a negotiation, what's taking so long? It's better to know that nothing's going on right now than to be told that something's going on, because then it's a little bit more, understand me, it's a little bit more certainty that something can happen when the negotiations begin, rather than negotiations are happening but nothing's going on, because that creates uncertainty. You don't know. Why is it take, like I said before, it's taking so long. What's taking so long? But
and I think the media and the left is trying to manufacture this narrative about all the economic uncertainty. The fact of the matter is, but what do you have the stock market at today, Wayne?
Minus 73 right now.
No,
minus 73.
What's the value? What's the top line number?
Is 41,144.
What was the stock market 12 months ago on this date?
Let me check.
Should be about 38,000. Roughly.
Let me check AI. I've been using that Grok a bit lately. Cool. I'm like, okay, well, everybody else can use Grok. I can use Grok too. Okay.
Right. Yeah. If you look 12 months ago, it was about 39,000.
May 6th.
We're about 41,000.
May 6th, 38,852.27.
What was that?
Well, you were talking over me. I was trying to tell you. You asked me. It's 38,852.27.
Yes. So, okay. We're 10% up over 12 months ago. The high of the market was about 45,000. We're down to like 41, 42. It's like there's not market uncertainty. The market dropped for a day or two and it bounced back up. Trump's cook and let him cook. Like,
Jason said, what was the market 12 months ago, right?
Yeah, like 38, 39,000.
Okay. Now, what was the market when Trump took over in January. Did you check that?
January depends on what day. Like December 23rd was the low point. It hit about 42.3.
January
When
20th.
Trump got sworn in, it went up to around 44, 45.
Okay, so
There
it's
was
down.
a peak of 45, and now we're at 41.
Okay,
So we're
so it's
about 10
down.
points
Right.
off the high. But
Right.
this isn't market uncertainty. This isn't a collapse. This isn't panicking. We're realigning I mean, if you look at the last jobs report, government jobs are down, real jobs are up, good indicator. You look at the inflation reports, inflation's coming down.
I mean, look, believe me, I understand. I understand if you can talk it that way. Okay. Believe me, I understand if you can talk it that way. It's just that people need to get ready for the worst. Because as you said, and as many said, you have 3 months from the time that something is put in. No, 3 months.
Once a policy takes place, it's about 3 months till
3
you
months,
actually
right?
see the real,
and that's
the real
why
effect of it.
And that's why I've said, or at least that's why I've said here, my Patriot Supply. Get ready, y'all, because the hurt is coming. President Trump told you the hurt is coming. I mean, it's there's nothing I'm saying that's wrong. President Trump told you that. He even was talking about dolls the other day on MSNBC. He's like, well, listen, you don't need $20 or $30. You just use $3. It's coming, and that's why I like. I don't like, but that's why I try to let y'all know ahead of time. Get ready. I mean, with the Scott Bissett thing this morning and some of the other information I'll let y'all know. It's stuff y'all should know. It's stuff that we all should know. We shouldn't gloss over it or look past it just because the media is not looking at it, because it's coming. And my Patriot Supply right here, right now. Take your camera out. Get
the QR code.
QR code right there, and you believe me, they got food that lasts 25 years. They got stuff that lasts 25 years, and not only that, they have pizza too. They have pizza stuff.
Really?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
survival pizza.
They sure do. But they also have water filters, which is probably more how you say it, more advantageous than the food, I think. Because if something happens to the electricity and the filtration in the cities and stuff stop, at least you'll have filtration system. Then they have the solar generators that and they also have payment plans, y'all. They have payment plans, because again, things you might be going through hard times right now. They have payment plans that they will work with you and get you your stuff. So check out my Patriot Supply. There is the link right there if you want to copy that down. But yeah, U.S. will stop bombing Yemen Houthis effective immediately, says Donald Trump. I think he's listening to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think he's listening to Marjorie Taylor Greene, because Marjorie Taylor Greene was out there like, she's really going at it, boy. She's really going at it.
She's trying to make herself a thing, but I'm just not getting the sense.
Me neither, man. I'm like, I think she's mad because all these Marco Rubio got 4 jobs.
Right.
Other people are getting named to jobs. She's not getting named to any of these jobs.
No.
I know. Yeah. I mean,
and I mean, if you watch his cabinets everywhere, they're on every show. They're dominating the news cycle. And I mean, I got to say, whoever's in charge of his communications and his messaging, I mean, we just had 24, 48 hours of Alcatraz talk, and it just creates this image of we need to get back to a law and order society. And they even came out and said it yesterday, and we had talked about it on the show, where Alcatraz is one of those, like, images of like, this is when we prosecuted like criminals again. And that imagery is really important for Americans, you know, kind of like meeting with the Canadian guy. I mean, the guy just won the election. He's down here already. And Trump's like, maybe you guys should pay for your own defense a little bit and quit being dependent on our money. I think it's great messaging as all these countries are pissed at us. Well, of course, Canada, like, think of how much more domestic money they have to spend on other stupid things because of how much we spend on the military. I think they spend like 1.5% of their GDP on military. We spend like 3 to 5. So yeah, I mean, their little brother sitting next to us going, yeah, we don't have to worry about getting invaded because we got the US right here. And I mean, think of if they had to actually spend what they should be spending, which the Globe's kind of agreed on a 2% GDP figure. That's kind of the standard for most of your international agreements. And yeah, I hope we get a better financial deal with Canada than what we have now. And I can't wait to go back and watch a video because I'm sure Trump and that guy, that's going to be such an awesome optic.
You know, basically what you just said is what the New York Post is saying too. But here's the thing: if I was Canada, okay, well, you don't need me. I'll go somewhere else. Which I just saw UK and India just created a little agreement, past tariffs. You know, India and the UK, right? But then, and then I found out yesterday that China is getting around the tariffs by going through third-party countries.
Yeah, they're just sending things to countries with lower tariff rates.
Yeah, it's right. Like, okay, right. But yeah, I mean, I know he was with the NFL people yesterday when he was like, I don't even know why we're having a meeting. So, with Carney, basically. So,
right.
You know, it is what it is. We'll see what it comes from it, but we'll see what Bessett's statements do because they just happened. So we'll see what happens because again, it happened in front of Congress. So the media probably hasn't caught up to it yet. And once the media starts reporting on it, then the people we'll see what the stock market does when they start seeing because y'all know me, I say get the cameras out of the stock market. Because what happens is when they knee jerk and they say crazy stuff, it affects the stock market. Maybe I should stop saying stock market. It affects your 401ks because your 401ks are on the stock market. Or here's a better thing yet: take the 401ks off the stock market. Somehow, some way, find a better role. You know how we talk about how
buy precious metals.
you know how we talk about how Social Security was scam.
Yeah.
Okay. The 401ks in a way is like that. Hold on, y'all. Yes, the 401ks is for retirement, but so was Social Security was supposed to be. But the 401k was supposed to. So it's telling Americans, y'all put money back toward your stuff out of your check, and we as a company, we're going to match it. Okay. But that's just to entice you to take less. You know what I'm saying? So that the company will have more money in the stocks. Right? Am I right? Or am I going wrong with that? Let me know because
well, and actually this kind of touches into Paul's question yesterday about the sovereign wealth fund. So if we go kind of big picture, the biggest flaw with Social Security, the money is not set aside, is not gaining interest or appreciating value for your retirement. The money I'm paying in today pays for somebody else's retirement. My money for retirement, I'm counting on my kids and grandkids to pay for. So they're going to give 12% of their salary to pay my retirement. 401k, what's different is your money is actually there. Now it's tied to the stock market unless you put it in other things like there's real estate funds or different funds. So you give it to an investment company who puts it somewhere. But yeah, the 401k was kind of a compromise. People used to have pensions with companies, and then they came up with the 401k. A lot of 401ks they match in company stock, which is advantageous for the company. So Wayne's right. Like if you get a lot of company match, a lot of times it's like I work for Target or whatever, and they're going to match me in Target stock, which does benefit the company. But I think for anybody, like however you're going to fund your retirement, you want to have it in a value that appreciates over time with inflation, because $100 today is worth like what $70 was 20 years ago. So you got to keep up with that. So that's why, like, we talk on the show, like, get some precious metals, not just for the collapse, but just it's a very, very steady growth, kind of keeps up with inflation. You know, if you own property, if your house is paid off, like the house retains value that continues to appreciate. You know, the stock market, 401ks, they're the best option right now for investments because you get it tax deferred, so you earn money on it without paying tax until you cash it out. So your $100 you put
and then
in,
they scare you in taking it out because they're, well, you know, you're gonna get taxed this and tax that, you know, when it's your money. So
yeah. But I mean, if you put $100 in your 401k, it's $100 that gets invested and then it grows, versus if you take it as income, you get like $70 instead of the 100 because you pay federal tax. Then when you invest it and it grows, then you still pay tax on what it grew. So, you know, it gives you a little bit of an advantage. And, you know, all this stuff is designed to work over 30 years or 20
30
years.
years, yeah.
So it's funny, when my son was first born, I put 10,000 in a college fund for him. And by the time he got to college age, it was up to like 27,000 just with, you know, it just goes
How much
up.
did you put?
10,000.
And then by the time what?
By the time he got into college, it was about 26,000.
Again, like when I did the 401k, before I got my first house, I had like I had 20,000 inside of 5 years. Now, even though I don't like Barack Obama, even though I didn't support Barack Obama and all anything, it moved. That's when the stock market started to do all that funny money stuff. But it moved. I mean, yeah, I had about $22,000 in it. But then I was going high risk. You know, I was
Wayne was high rolling.
I rent high risk, man. I'm like, man, this is I need some money. I need to know that I can make some money on this 401k. But you know, when I had 401k,
I should jump on too that they were asking over on the Facebook chat, like, what happened to the comments. Facebook was deleting those comments, folks, not Wayne or not us. But if your comments are disappearing, somehow Facebook didn't like what you're doing. If you want to be generous, you can say Facebook's being a little glitchy right now. I think they're doing some software updates. If you want to be ungenerous, yeah, Facebook's being Facebook. Wow. That's part of why we like some of the other platforms. They don't do that. So,
well, coming to the stage, this friend of mine, I've known him for a long time, and you know,
a nullifier.
I can say that he's you know, I have a whole lot of nieces and nephews in the conservative movement. So yeah, I kind of he'll be a nephew. Yeah, so to speak. But yeah, he works over at townhall.com. And as y'all know, Town Hall has been doing conservative news for a long time. As long as I've been around, and that's like the last 15 years, they've been doing it. And they've been bringing on new people all the time. Some of the people that I knew back in the day that were probably where he is. Well, actually, as writers are now in charge of certain things now at town hall. But let me bring him on real quick. I hope let's see, get him up here really fast. Mr. Jeff Charles, what's up, Jay? What's going on?
Hey, what's good, Big Wayne?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Charles from townhall.com. Jeff, here is my co-host, Mr. Jason Robinson.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jeff.
Yeah, this will be fun.
Let everybody know a little bit about you and the work that you do over at Town Hall.
Yeah, so I was previously at Red State, which is a news site, a conservative news site that Town Hall actually owns. Back in December, I started with Town Hall as a news editor. I cover a lot of different topics. I focus mainly on breaking news, but aside from that, I do my own investigative journalism, especially focusing on local issues like local government abuses, things that don't really get talked about much on national platforms. But I also deal a lot with criminal justice, immigration issues, anything concerning liberty that's right up my alley. So I've been doing this for about since 2017. So I've been in this game for a little bit, not as long as y'all, but I've been having a lot of fun.
Well, I tell you this: if there's one thing that, I mean, the resume, the type of work that you do almost falls in line with what Breitbart wanted many of the younger generation to do. He wanted them to go and find the fraud and find those stories that many people weren't talking about and bring them in front of the American people. But it seems like today's generation, as you can see, many of them want to stand on the stage and speak rather than to do the work. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we are in a very interesting time for media in general, I believe. We're in a time when the legacy media, especially the left-leaning legacy media, is not nearly as relevant as it used to be. Like Andrew Breitbart would say, I mean, if you have a phone, you can be a journalist. I mean, it's gotten a lot more democratized. There's a lot of good that has come from that, but there's also going to be bad that comes with that as well. So you have, a lot of influencers who are more pushing their own agenda to get clout, clicks, and cash, which we all want clicks. We all want this. I mean, and we're using our voices to bring a light to important issues. But now it's created a problem where sometimes you might not know who to trust, if they're actually telling you the truth, or if they're pushing an agenda, or if they just want to be seen and get the nice sound bites. And this isn't just in media. This is also in Congress and on the Republican and Democrat side. So the advent of alternative media in the digital space has really created a very interesting world, but it is still a lot of fun. But it does give people like us a chance to cover things that the legacy media would decide not to cover. So I think it's been great for that.
Right.
Jeff, Wayne kind of touched on it, but at Town Hall, one thing I like that you guys do is you try to keep it very factual based. So, like example, yesterday there was a viral video of Ilhan Omar that went nuts, where her slamming America, and like nobody was sharing the context that it was like 8 years old. And when you see influencers do things online like that, does it just make you want to shake your head? Because I even saw JD Vance retweet it, and I'm like, oh my god, JD Vance is going to get rolled because some knucklehead shared an 8-year-old clip without saying this is
live the TikTok.
Live
the TikTok shared it.
Does that just drive you bananas too, as somebody in like trying to like cover real news?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, on my podcast, my motto is that I prefer truth over narrative and principles over politics. So that is choosing a narrative over truth, and that drives me nuts. Now, I took the day off yesterday, so I didn't see it, but it sounds like what I've seen many different times. Like they'll take an old video and make it sound like it's brand new or like it just happened. Look, Ilhan Omar is already awful enough. You don't have to lie about it, or you don't have to kind of massage the truth. You can post that video and say this happened 8 years ago, and then still post a video from something that she said last week, and it's going to be just as awful. So there's really no need for it. But again, like I said, a lot of people are more concerned about getting clicks than they are about focusing on the serious news or the stuff that's really going wrong right now.
Well, yesterday, the DHS decided to roll out a new program that's raising eyebrows. I have a little problem with it because they're offering illegal aliens financial and travel assistance to voluntarily leave the United States through an app. Now, they got rid of another app at the beginning of the year, and now they're creating an app for them to leave. But it's called CBP Home, and here's how it works. If an illegal alien uses the app to self-deport, when they self-deport, then they get the $1,000. That's like, wait a minute, hold on. You want me to leave, and then you're gonna promise me that you're gonna give me $1,000 after I leave? No, you gotta put me. But here's my thing. And I want to hear what both of y'all say with this. If you're going to offer me $1,000 to leave, then I know you got some more money to offer me to leave. Okay. If 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, I'm not just leaving for $1,000. I can make $1,000 working on some of these homes from the Home Depot parking lot. Just all I have to do is pick me up, and I work on your home, make $1,000 a week. But the thing is, that's it, $1,000. How many people do you think are going to take $1,000 to leave? Yeah, Jeff.
I am very interested in seeing how this works, because when I first saw it, I didn't actually read into it because, again, I had the day off yesterday and I made myself not do it. But when I dug more into it, I was like, this might not be that bad of an idea. Now, I already don't like the idea that they're taking the money that they steal from us and giving it to illegal immigrants. I understand that. But here's the thing. They already use the money that they steal from us, about $5,000 to $10,000, according to what I read, to deport an illegal immigrant. So if you can offer them $1,000 and also the promise that they will be able to come back and go through the appropriate process, that might actually work. Because there's also the $1,000, but also if they can come back later and go through the process without having to worry about being rejected, then if they get in, now they're not looking over their shoulders for ICE and stuff like that. They can live more peacefully. So I think it's probably a less bad solution than a lot of what the other stuff is going on with the administration, like using the Alien Enemies Act and going through all this drama that to me is unnecessary and most likely unconstitutional. This approach is probably a little bit better, I guess. I don't have to hold my nose as much for this one as I do for the other stuff that the administration has been doing.
Yeah, and I guess just my take on it, Wayne, as a landlord, and Trump's a property guy. It's not an uncommon practice if you need to evict somebody, that you go up and say, I'm going to evict you, or I'm going to give you $2,000, just get out of my hair, voluntarily leave.
Right.
So I think it's kind of a novel approach from the private sector getting rolled into the public sector. I'll be curious how it works. Now, you had talked about some of the constitutional stuff, Jeff, and one thing I got to ask you about is, this morning a ruling came down about letting 12,000 migrants in, and we see all this judicial stuff. It seems like district court judges think they're more powerful than the president in some cases. Give us your quick take on, and you probably don't know the one this morning because it just came out, but just overall, what's your take on these district court judges?
I'm still catching up, but the idea that a judge can just summarily just knock down an executive order or a law for the entire nation, that rubs me the wrong way. Like, even if I agree with what the judge is doing, right? So I think that judges in their districts should be able to do things like that and let the issue be litigated in court, however that turns out. But the notion that one judge can just decide a policy is invalid for the entire nation, that's a little scary. And I don't care which side is doing it. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I think last week it was a Texas judge who ruled the use of the Alien Enemies Act in this context for Venezuelan deportees was unconstitutional, but that only applied to his district. He didn't try to do it for the whole nation. That's still going to be litigated, and that's probably the way it should go with these things. But yeah. It's rubbing me the wrong way. I mean, judges can be just as tyrannical as a president or a member of Congress or what have you.
Now, my only issue with everybody talking about the activist judges is that these judges aren't just picking these cases and just deciding them. Nobody's really talking about the activist lawyers. The lawyers are the ones that are bringing these things before the judge so that the judge can make that type of determination. But people are blaming the judges, not the lawyers. And for me, I've said that when it comes to the judges really aren't stopping anything. They're pausing to make sure that things are legit. As a matter of fact, some of these judges have paused it and then come with the determination that the Trump administration can go ahead and do everything after they've checked all the boxes to make sure that it's right. Now, I'm not saying that there's no bad judges out there, because many of us know about the two-tier justice system that this country employs or has employed for the last 200 years. All I'm saying is that some of these things, most of them, are being brought by these activist lawyers, and the lawyers are getting off scot-free. Nobody's saying anything about them. Nobody said who's paying the lawyers, who's paying these people. Are the lawyers on somebody's payroll? To stop the Trump administration? Because again, these judges are sitting on their porches drinking tea and lemonade or Arnold Palmer's before they get a case, and then they have to rule according to the Constitution. But then, the activist judges, like you said, it goes both ways. They look like some of these judges are Republicans too. I mean, so it's like, what can you do? Yeah, you can say, I don't want to take this case. They're just going to find another judge in their district or whatnot to do it. So, that's how I look at it. I kind of look at it like that. But, with the, I just saw something about the Real ID, Jeff and J Rob. Real ID is supposed to start tomorrow, but it seems like now DHS secretary is now saying that travelers can fly without one, but security will take longer. I don't have any problem with Real ID. Me and my family have it. It didn't take as long to get it. It wasn't a long process. Our side usually wants ID for voting, so I mean, I didn't see no problem with it. Jay, you see any problem with it?
Yeah, no, we've talked about it on the show. Of all the things I don't like government overreach on, Real ID does not seem to be the hill to die on, in my opinion. I'd be curious what Jeff's take is on it, though. I haven't seen his breakdown. Is this like an infringement of liberty, or is this like people are just overreacting and making a mountain out of a molehill?
It's definitely infringement on liberty. And to me, I'm more worried about how this will be used in the future, right? Because right now, I mean, they may not use it for anything nefarious, but with any type of government program, it usually doesn't stay the same. It usually grows and grows and grows and grows. I think that's what's going to happen with Real ID. That being said, most of us already have it without even knowing it. I haven't even looked at my license to see if I have it, but I have to switch mine over from Texas to Louisiana, so I probably will end up having to get it anyway. But this is one of those things where I look at it and I say, we should just kind of watch and see what happens with this. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe it won't. Maybe the government will find other ways to violate our rights, but we should at least be keeping an eye on this type of thing no matter how good it might sound. And this isn't even a Trump initiative. Real ID was thought up like 20 years ago.
Right.
So I think that we do have to keep, this is where we have to make sure we're keeping an eye on our government to make sure that they're not going to use this for something worse.
Yeah, I can see that too. But it's just, it's a star, man. it's a star.
See, I'm like, let's go Real ID. Let's have everybody use it. Then everybody use that to vote. Like, I'm good.
There we go. I mean? There we go. Yeah.
Like, if you needed to fly, you needed to vote, you needed to buy a gun, whatever, And I hate the government. I don't want more government, but can we at least keep a level standard of like different things? And I gotta say too, Jeff, when we were talking about the lawyer thing, you like reading your content, you aren't a fan of how we're deporting people. Like, you have concerns about its application, but I think you agree we need to deport people, right? Or do you not?
Well, especially the ones who get over here and they commit violent crimes, property crimes. Yeah, get them out, most definitely. With the like I'll bring up like the Venezuelan people that he sent to El Salvador. I don't understand the point of that. Using the Alien Enemies Act, which is supposed to apply to foreigners who are from countries that are at war with the United States. I didn't have a problem with him doing stuff like this in his first term, because what he did is he just deported people. Just go through the regular process, get them out, you're good to go. I don't really understand the purpose of using the Alien Enemies Act to bypass whatever due process is there for illegal immigrants, just to send them to El Salvador. It doesn't make sense to me. Also, I'm not convinced that all these people were actual gang members. If you're going to send somebody to a maximum person in El Salvador, there better be some scrutiny and due process. Otherwise, you can just deport them. You don't need to go through all this, because if they're already illegal, it doesn't matter whether they're gang members or not. They're here illegally. Get them out.
I've said on here a few times myself. Some people are going to get caught up in there that aren't part of that. There was a mother and daughter, adult daughter, that I guess they were speaking Spanish in the parking lot or whatnot, and ICE picked them up, took them to the station, and was getting ready to process them, and then found out that they were legitimately over here, and then apologized publicly for doing that. But but then again, though, Jeff, and I'm sure that Jason will agree with me on this, there are some people out here right now. Well, there are many illegals out here right now that are being given instructions on not even opening up the door. I mean, that they have rights. You can't come in my house. And all of this information spread across this country really fast. A lot of these illegals stay in the house now. They order DoorDash. They don't even go out too much, because if they go out, then they're going to get picked up. So, but believe me, I also agree about the thing down there to El Salvador. Plus, with the news about Alcatraz and whatnot, I think that it's a cost-cutting thing too. From what we know, they're spending like $5, $6, $7 million to send all these people down to El Salvador. That can start being a little bit more, let's go ahead and redo Alcatraz. let's go ahead and build some great let's make jails great again. I don't know. But yeah, that's I agree with you on that one too. But listen, both of y'all, something else that I was thinking about first thing this morning. You know how right now the DOJ really is doing a whole lot of things they're not doing a whole lot of things with Epstein list, but how they're going after some of the lawyers, law firms, and stuff that went after President Trump over with the last 4 years for the Biden administration and stuff. Well, I was thinking about it this morning. And I was like, this would be a good question to ask both of them. Smartmatic has gone after. Did they go after Town Hall? I don't know if they went after Town Hall, but Newsweek, Newsmax, Fox News, they've gone after some conservative websites too, because these websites claim that Smartmatic was responsible for cheating voters in 2020. Why hasn't the current DOJ made it a priority to go after Smartmatic? If they, I'm not saying that they didn't steal or whether they steal or whatever, but if you put that narrative out there that they stole and that they were responsible and whatnot, and now you in charge and you going after certain, why not go after Smartmatic?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't really know how to feel about this Justice Department yet, honestly. I mean, we're not going to get the Epstein files, and I don't care whether it was Trump or a different president. We're not going to get them. There are way too many people invested in keeping that hidden. I'm not really sure, because there was a lot of promises that Kash Patel made, that Pam Bondi made, and it just doesn't seem like they're really following through yet. That doesn't mean they won't. It doesn't mean they won't. But it just seems like I don't know if there's other stuff that's coming up, or maybe they're getting. Yeah. And so I don't know why.
I have the autographed copy of Kash Patel's Government Gangsters, and I am waiting for the first good perp walk. This is the owner's manual. I want all these people locked up, Cash.
Yeah, I mean, they have been firing a lot of people, which I like. I like that they're getting rid of a lot of these people, because I see that the agency has been corrupt. It's been corrupt since its inception, the FBI. So I like that he's doing that, but I'm just wondering, are you going to start going after some of these corrupt officials like Smartmatic? Maybe maybe they're not going after them because they realize that there isn't much evidence there. If that's the case, then fine, to just let us know, say something. But I'm just waiting to see what this DOJ is going to do. Are they going to cut it down, or are they going to expand it, or are they just going to weaponize it against their enemies the same way Biden did? I really hope that doesn't happen, but I'm kind of in wait and see mode right now.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm in the same thing where, I'll give them 100 days to start building their cases, building their files. I was a big advocate on the show, like, hey, we want convictions, not just headlines. But I swear, every time I see Pam Bondi on goddamn Fox News instead of like in a courtroom, I'm like, he's on there more than Waters. Like, at what point did we not get, like, at what point did we just hire a Fox News host? And I've been saying, like, you got your 100 days. I'm not going to complain about it.
Did.
Wayne was complaining from day one. I'm like, I'm beginning.
Y'all ain't arrested anybody yet. We just got in office.
Yeah. We'll give him some patience, but now we're reaching that point where I don't know exactly how long it takes to build these cases.
Right.
But I wish they would, at least, because you hear, a lot of folks who you think might be in the know about like how long it's going to take, and we'll get there. But I see so many of these things that the left is doing as just obstructionist. We're just going to run out the clock. We're playing prevent defense. We're going to file another court case. And I think we have such a key moment where Trump can really move the ball forward on some of this stuff. Like, I look at what he does with the Alien Enemies Act. I'm like, I don't necessarily love it, but like, we need to get 11 million people out of here, or whatever the number is, or get them processed or whatnot. So yeah, we were talking yesterday about the Epstein files. Yeah, we probably aren't going to see that. Too many rich, powerful people. But I just really hope. Like, what do you think, Jeff? What would the timeline be till we actually see a good perp walk? Like, one of the awful people we know needs to be perp walked.
Man, it's hard to say. And you're right. It's not like it only takes a couple months to build a case. I mean, that takes a while. That takes a lot of investigation. I mean, I don't think we're going to see anything this year. I'll say that, because if there's actually wrongdoing going on, which there is, because it's the government, there's always wrongdoing going on. If they're actually rooting it out, they have to make sure they build a case in a way that's going to make sure that these people get held accountable. I'm cautiously optimistic that we might see some perp walks. I'm not confident that we're going to see the level of purging that is needed. I'm not even sure that's even within Trump's purview. If he can actually do it, needs to be done to drain the swamp. But I'd like to see him try. I mean, I'd like to, like, even with Doge, I like the idea of it, and I think it's going to expose a lot of things that Americans need to know. I don't think it's going to eliminate a whole lot of waste, but there's still some benefits to it. So if we do see some perp blocks, I'd say at the earliest, maybe next year sometime.
But see, my problem with Doge is that it's easy to tell you or easier to throw out the word fraud to anger the base. But if you're not arresting anybody behind that, or I mean, look, it's easy to say, okay, USA did this. For a long time since he said that, I was like, well, I mean, it's not like that stuff was hidden. You can look at the omnibus bills and tell where all this stuff was going. I mean, USA got this people got this. It all has to be approved by somebody, signed off by somebody. So we know who signed it off. But to tell the American people, look, we found this, we found that. Well, no, for again, it's not hard. You can look at the omnibus bills and tell where Congress is spending their money. And secondly, unless it's like Jay said, the $21 trillion that are building the underground, the new underground city railroads, but
underground bunker.
Yeah, but when it comes to not perp walking or bringing those names out, you're just telling me you aren't telling me anything. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. 5 billion, no, $20 billion. We found $20 billion went to Switzerland. Okay, fine. Who signed off on it? I don't know.
It was an auto pay.
So right, it's like, so what am I supposed to do with this? I'm angry. $20 billion, 20 billion. And after a couple of weeks, nothing. You know, I mean, there's nothing more to say. So, I mean, for me, I just think that it's haphazard that you're only going to give me half the story to piss me off, instead of bringing, like what Jason is saying. You got to put somebody in iron bracelets, y'all. Y'all got to at least show the base that law and order is really being done. You know, I mean, anybody can drum up numbers. I could say I found $6 billion that Cheney got or lost right before 9/11. You remember that? Cheney on the vice president or the Bush administration.
Yeah, the day before 9/11,
all that money was gone. Probably went toward the basement
underground bunker. Now,
yeah, exactly. Which also makes sense because it seemed like in every administration, $1 trillion is always lost somewhere, somehow, some way. There's money being lost. So I guess it's for a thing. But what do y'all think about that? It's like, okay, if these people aren't getting arrested for all this money that we're saying is fraud, is it really fraud?
Yeah, and that's where it's tough to root that out. I mean, because if you're going to say it's fraud, then you're right, Wayne. There should be people arrested because committing fraud is a crime. You're stealing from people, or you're stealing from the government, or what have you. I mean, I'm sure that there's a way more waste than there is actual fraud, because people know if they commit fraud, they stand a chance of getting caught. But again, if there is rampant fraud and people are committing it and nobody's getting arrested, when's it going to stop? There's no deterrent effect here. You know, you can commit fraud and get away with it. So there has to be some accountability. And honestly, I mean, to Jay's point, I'm waiting for the same thing you are, brother. I'm waiting for some accountability. I'm waiting for some arrests. I may not agree with everything that Trump is doing, but if he starts going after people who defraud the American people, who pushed unconstitutional rules and regulations and laws and things like that, I want to see people go to jail. I do. The real evil people, not just whoever. Right. I'm talking about people who have actually caused harm.
Yeah. Sort of like Jason, who's the one that's a senator now that was in charge of the impeachment?
Oh, Adam Schiff.
Adam
Schiff.
Schiff. Oh my God.
Dude. I mean, or even a couple of those FBI people that let Hillary Clinton off, but went after Donald Trump. Why not them? What?
Mm-hmm.
Jason,
we are sitting in what they call a target-rich environment, President Trump and team.
Yes.
like Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi for stock trading.
Yeah.
Stacey Abrams with 20 million for refrigerators. You know, like you are in a target-rich environment. Like, let's get one. Let's start with one. You know, and like the judges that they went after, that was kind of cute, but I'm really waiting for somebody of consequence. And that's where I kind of land. You know, I love Trump. I love what the administration's doing. You know, I think he's done a lot of good things. There's been some bad as well. But yeah, until we see people go to jail, Trump will cycle out, and then it'll just be the washing machine as usual. Although I'll be curious, Jeff, do you think they're actually going to pass any legislation that's going to back up some of the stuff he's doing?
Yeah, codify. Do you think they're going to codify anything?
He's laughing. That's a bad sign.
I know. Yeah.
No, I mean, the thing is, and it's not even just Democrats. I mean, there's a lot of Republicans who oppose a lot of what Trump is doing, or at least wants to do. That's actually why I don't think that DOGE will succeed. Ain't no way you're going to get Republicans and Democrats to sign off on shrinking the government. Come on now, that's not going to happen. He might get a few things passed to support his executive orders, but honestly, I'm not optimistic.
So what, he has close to 100 executive orders for shrinking the government. How many do you think would get codified before midterms?
Yeah, and you brought up another good thing there. I mean, they have to get this done before midterms, because I'm not sure how well Republicans are going to do. If they continue the way they are right now, Democrats will be back in control. I think he'll be lucky if he can get 5. I really think that the rot is that deep in Congress. Like, it's just, and I don't even know what he's gonna have to do to get them to get on board with it. And I'm not even sure which executive orders they would agree to pass legislation about it. It would have to be something that doesn't really harm them all that much, something that doesn't really do much, because that's what Republicans do. I mean, they run on a platform, they get into office, and then they're basically diet Democrats. So I don't. That's how I expect them to be.
Diet Democrats. I like that.
Well, yeah, and it's funny when you're talking about midterms. I've made the prediction that within like 30, 60, 90 days, if Democrats win, Trump will have his first impeachment. Do you think I'm crazy, or do you think I'm like spot on?
I think you're crazy, because I think it's going to be 5 minutes after they take They're already trying to do it. I mean, you had that weird guy that looks like a hobbit come out talking about, I am going to impeach Donald Trump. They're already trying. So yeah, it's going to be like 5 minutes after they take office, they're going to be impeaching Trump.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah.
And as I said at the beginning of the year, I thought everybody that Trump wanted in office would get confirmed. Remember, Jason, I said that?
Yeah.
Everybody that he wanted was going to get confirmed, but there was a method to my madness, because I was like, just as soon as if the Democrats take over, or if they get in charge, each one of them, their office is basically going to be on Capitol Hill every week. They're going to be called in front of Congress for something. All this stuff that's happening before it was not codified, they're going to be in front of Congress week after week after week, explaining everything that they did. They're going back to the Hexeth thing. They're going back to who is it? Tulsi for some of the stuff that she testified for. They're going to Scott Bassett, who a couple of weeks ago said that they had negotiations with China, and then this morning in front of Congress he said that they haven't started any negotiation with China. They're going to bring him up there. I mean, and the biggest person of all that they're going to put in front of Congress is Elon Musk.
Oh,
They are going to, and with the way that he answered questions and stuff, they're going to be up there for about 3 or 4 weeks just on a couple questions, because he talks over them and they won't be able to understand a whole lot of stuff that he is saying. So me and Jason have felt for a while that Elon is Trump's fall guy, even though Elon might not see it. But a whole lot of stuff, Trump is came out and said, Elon's doing a great job. Elon got rid of this and Elon got rid of that. Not Trump. Not Trump. So when everything comes down, Elon's going to be on Capitol Hill. Wait a minute. But I wasn't in charge. Well, this video's where Trump says you're in charge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So
I think there's a reason why Elon Musk is starting to back away. I mean, maybe he knows what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff, how can people reach out to you on social media?
Yeah, you can get me on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. I'm at Jeff Charles Jr. You can check out my Substack. It's called Chasing Liberty, and my podcast is called A Fresh Perspective with Jeff Charles. And of course, read my stuff at townhall.com. We
want to have you back on real soon, talk about some more stuff on political wise. Jason, as we get ready to go, let's see. I already said Trump said the U.S. will stop bombing Houthis in Yemen after reaching an agreement. So that just came out. Jeff, as I said, I think he heard Marjorie Taylor Greene yelling about it. So,
good.
We'll see where that goes. But yeah, we're here 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jeff, thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Jeff, Jason. Yeah, Jason, give me some last thoughts, and Jeff. Again, we'll see you real soon. Yes.
Yes, most definitely.
All right. Okay, great.
All right. Yeah.
Let's see. Wayne's
gonna do some IT stuff here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some IT stuff. Jason.
Cameras.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna give you my final thoughts. We're already running a little long, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do us a favor, give us a like, comment, and share. I want to touch on one thing too that Jeff kind of talks about, or that he insinuates. Like, you don't realize how evil and awful all these politicians get to be when they're up in DC. And that's the battle we're fighting. That's the battle Trump's fighting. We would talk for years on the show, the time I've been on it, like the military just fire the top 20%, just get rid of them all. And, in government, same thing with your House of Reps, all the machines too, all their staff, like so much of them are just recycled, and it just becomes this awful machine of people that just run DC. That's a battle Trump's facing, and I can't thank him enough for fighting that battle. And then last thing, on a personal note, so for the first time in 2 years, we were able to get the e-bike set up today, Wayne. I don't know if you've ever ridden an e-bike, but if you want to get outside and do some exercise, get an electric bike. Last year I had my kidney stones and Jen was having some stuff. But now that it's e-bike season in Minnesota, they are phenomenal. If you're looking for a good way to get out, get an e-bike.
E-bike.
Electric bikes. It's like riding a 15 to 20 mile an hour scooter, only it's a bicycle. It's incredible.
And you roll and
you pedal, and then it's electric assist. And based on how much pedaling you want to do, you can adjust how much it assists. So like if you're new and fresh and want to do the pedaling yourself, you can turn it down, and then it's more of your pedaling. And if you're like getting tired and like going up this big hill, you can have it do more work for you. But like Jen and I'll go on a 10, 15, 20 mile e-bike ride. It's just, it's incredible. And it might not be so bad on some of the things that give you aches and pains.
Really?
Yeah. Might be worth a try. We didn't use them at all last year and very little the year before, but this year, that's our commitment, to get outside, get healthy, get some sun, get some exercise, e-bikes, giddy up.
And it says, I'm looking at 50 miles, up to 50 miles. So What, it goes up to 50 miles before it needs to be, what is it, charged?
Yeah. So so the one we got, we didn't get a high-end one. So my buddy has a couple high-end ones, and they'll go like 50, 60 miles before they need a charge. We got cheaper ones because we weren't sure how much we'd like them. And frankly, they were great. I think we paid like $1,400-1,500, which is expensive, but it's like our main source of exercise in the summer, going for e-bike rides with the dogs, and you go to a park and go for a walk. Ours only goes about 20, 30 miles on a charge, which a 30-mile bike ride is a hell of a bike ride. So, and you can get a lot of them used because a lot of people will buy one. And then once you start using it and you're outside, I mean, the first 2 years we had them, we were out biking every day. We'd be going for 5-10-mile bike rides and walking. And once you start using them and you're like, okay, I'm getting healthy and I'm outside and I'm away from the TV.
How much?
What's that?
How much?
The one we got was $1,500 a couple of years ago.
Look at the one I just sent you in text. What's the difference between what you just said and that price?
Oh, probably just the battery. I think what you'd find if you use something like that is you'd get it, you'd use it, and then you'd get a like better, but no, that like, yeah, Wayne just sent me one from Amazon like for $250. If that thing works, like, yeah, that would be incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it to be cheap if I get one. I mean, and you have, you know, if yours is a little bit more, well, if yours is a whole lot more.
I'll send you the link to the one we got, and we got it from a bike shop.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like right now, yeah, the one we got is close to like $1,800.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I say, it was just such a good investment that it was worth. And my buddy got ones for like $5,000.
What?
So I just sent you the one we got, the commuter one.
Yeah, I'm looking
And
at it.
yeah, I got little saddlebags on it. We got a basket on the front for the dog. Oh yeah, they're phenomenal. But it's just a great idea to get outside and yeah, get outside and get out in the sun.
Okay. Well, we'll look that up, man. E-bike. Okay.
Yeah. And even if you try like the $250 one and use it for a season, and if you like it, like then you invest in a more expensive one. So
for longer use. Yeah.
Yeah, just higher quality, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different than a car or anything else you buy.
Okay. Tomorrow's our hump day. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Give you some more Diddy updates and stuff. Wow, e-bike.
Telling you.
Hmm.
Might be a good thing.
I think I saw one on a video somewhere. But it didn't look like they were pedaling either. It looked like, well, yeah. That's a whole lot of these. There's a hoverboard out there for real, too.
Yeah, I couldn't navigate a hoverboard.
Actually, Jason, there is a bike. I will send you the video if I find it. But there's a bike that you see Star Wars and those things that chase down people in the air.
Yeah.
There is a legit bike like that.
No way.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. It doesn't have any wheels, but it is in the air. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is sweet. This is sweet. But there's a lot of things
I'm going to send you the picture of the fully decked out e-bike where we have the basket behind to put the dogs in too. We did a couple iterations of it. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? That will be cool to put the animals back there. Yeah. That would be cool. You have two back wheels too.
No. They're both the bikes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Mine's the one with the saddlebag. So you throw your water and your snacks and your saddlebags, and then
you got that thing decked out, man.
Yeah, it's pimping, buddy. It's pimping.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, as you look at summer, and like as Jen and I haven't been healthy enough to do a lot outside, man, like every night, if you just go out, get out, enjoy the weather, it just so like resets your brain. You know what I mean? Because you get on there, stuck in the house watching TV, or like, I mean, you turn on the news and everything is just like awful right now, and it's like, yeah, let's just go enjoy the weather. Let's go to the park.
Yeah, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and for my dog, they're asking in the chat. We got 2 small ones, about little 15-pounders, Lou the Freedom Dog, and Steve. Steve's special. His family tree doesn't fork much.
Yeah.
Oh, the hover bike.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. No offense, Wayne. I don't think you're ever going to be able to ride the hover bike. You can ride the e-bike, though.
I mean, but it looks cool though, Jason.
It does look cool.
You know, I mean, when I saw him flying it, let me see if I can get a picture before we get out of here. When I saw him flying it, Jason, I was like, "Ooh, I want one of those."
Start with an e-bike, Wayne. I'm telling you. Yeah, you are going to be amazed at how many bike paths and parks there are around that you never even knew you had. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that thing is not touching the ground.
All right.
I would show the video, but the last time I did a video like this, they got me in trouble.
They copyright strike.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, these things are being sold right now. They are being sold. So, but no, I mean, I'm really gonna check out the e-bike.
You should.
Yeah,
we're going to get Wayne Dupree. That's going to be our goal this year, folks. Wayne and his robot dog, until he gets his real dog, outside enjoying the weather, finding a park. Walking's hard on his hips and back. We're going to get you on an e-bike.
On my back, yeah. On my back.
Up.
All right. With that said, we're getting ready to roll out of here. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us. Again, you can check him out at Town Hall. And don't forget to check out Jason at the American Tribune. And also you can check me out at the DupreeReport.com. Y'all have a great evening. Tomorrow, once again, is not Mexican Day. It's not Mexican Day like Jason was talking about. Cinco de Mayo. Then you got Taco Bell Tuesday. And I don't know. Tomorrow's like enchilada.